hour, the waiting game.
Hi, this is Deck speaking. 4 minutes on the network. Deck, your weekly feast of information and good stuff about how to make money in your business, which is music. And by the way, why don't you buy How to Make a Million from Your Music? And that gives you full membership of the Serious Writers Guild, now in 52 countries, 3,600 plus members in the world, and all with direct access to myself and my team. So you can learn how to do music the proper way, the way that makes money. So what have I got for you this time? I'm doing 4 weeks of a special series on stagecraft. They say that music is 80% visual and 20% music, and I believe that. Stagecraft is very important. So let's look in on a little lecture I did for a few people, special people, invited people, Toastmasters speak. There were speaking members, really, speaking people, but it's all good stuff for music. Let's look in. Stagecraft, the 4 A's of superb stagecraft. Maybe we all wonder, we're not getting the applause that we need. Maybe we're not getting the money we deserve for what we do, whether it's speaking, whether it's singing, whether it's playing a guitar, whether it's anything in life, doing TV, doing what Susan does. Perhaps the one little item, the one little last latch in the lock is that magic S, stagecraft. You've often heard people say, and I've often heard people say, that there's something missing, just one little thing missing. And they say that 80% of what you do when you're appearing, whether it's television, whether it's on a show, whether it's in this sort of an environment, 80% of what you do is visual. In other words, the way you look, the way you do it. So 4 A's of stagecraft. 4 A's of superb stagecraft. What do you think the first one is? Most important thing? I would think. We've always got a smart one in the audience. Absolutely, Mark. Turn up. Turn up. Now, I'll tell you, the big A is, and you're doing it every time you get up to speak. You're speaking in front of an audience. Does it not make sense, incredible sense, to know what an audience is, and more importantly, how to be an audience? In other words, how to be the best audience, how to be the one that claps the longest, claps the loudest, laughs the longest, laughs the loudest. I'm actually quite astonished that I've been doing this sort of stuff for, 8 years as a Toastmaster in front of audiences like this. And nobody ever notices that I'm the last clap that you hear. I'm the first laugh that you hear. Because I know that it's important to know how to be an audience. Now let's start from the start. Arriving at a theatre. It's interesting to note that in the West End, or in any major place, the O2, Wembley Stadium, if you arrive late, they will not allow you in. Fact. They will not allow you in until the first applause break. What do you see happen in small groups of people, such as this we've got tonight? They arrive late and they slip in. There's no such thing as slipping in. Everybody notices you slipping in, particularly the person up here who's either singing the song or playing his guitar, playing his bugle or whatever, is halfway through the adagio from Swan Lake on the harp. That's a trumpet, that's a harp. Halfway through and somebody slips in. I've seen it so many times and it drives me mad. When I do Princess Trust presentations, which we'll be doing in a few weeks' time, and I hope you'll join me for that, I see it all the time. because nobody tells those kids that they should have the politeness and the manners to knock on the door and wait to be brought in, and then to wait for the applause break, and then to be shown to their seat. Because if somebody comes in on the applause break, the toastmaster or the MC or whoever, person running the wedding, wherever, is going to say, "Oh, Charles, it's lovely to see you." Probably the bus broke down. "Come in, Charles." So give Charles a round of applause. And Charles will sit down and everything is lovely. Audience. We had an amazing situation over in Eastbourne, a guy called Jeff Grace, great friend of ours. Jeff, you know Grace? What did Jeff do when he joined our club? Every time he walked in, every time he walked on stage, ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. What do I see at every speakers meeting I go to? Somebody arrives late. "Oh, come on in." Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Why? Why do it? If you're in a theatre, the first thing you learn, day one, morning one, hour one, walk on the balls of your feet. It's easy. Nobody notices. When you're up here talking, walk on the balls of your feet. Jeff? We're all laughing because we all remember it so well. Well, that's audience. Here's another thing. We don't allow, in theatres, we don't allow coats on the backs of chairs. Do you invite people to dinner at your house and they come in, they put their coats on the backs of chairs? What do I see? This is because I didn't go around tonight purposely for this little exercise. Normally you'll see me quietly go around, I'll take all the coats and put them on the back on the hanger where they should be. In a theatre in the West End, you are not allowed to bring a coat into the theatre. Did you know that?
I went to the West End recently and I did.
Must have been a very cheap theatre,
No,
cheap
no.
tickets. But generally speaking, you won't. And here's the reason why. Because nowadays, I'm over here, Susan. Nowadays, you hear all the time, when you go to the theatre, and I'm sure, Susan, when you went the other week, they not only have a start by time, they have a finish by time. And they say, this performance will be finished by 10:30. It's the worst thing that's ever happened to show business. It is a nightmare. And the reason why, the people who booked the taxis, whatever they booked, they're going to slip out. And they slip out this way. They go, "I'm just going to slip out." Is that okay? Come on, Charles. We just slip out very quietly. We'll slip out. Why do they always wave at the artist? That's the reason why they don't allow coats in theatres. I think it's a very good idea. And I think in Toastmasters shouldn't be allowed either, anywhere. So that's audience. I hope you enjoyed that brief look into the art of stagecraft. Well, just the first bit, audience. Very important to know how to be an audience, so that then you know what you can expect from an audience, and how, when it's a great audience, it makes you work better and sing better. Always remember that if you're going to see your favorite artist, if you're a great audience for him or her, then they will be a great act for you. So there we are. Deck@makehits.com if you want to send me an email. Most people seem to want to email me direct, or you can comment below. 4 minutes on the net with Deck, makehits.com. See you next week. Bye.
It's the 11th hour. It's now or never. Let's make a break to the 11th hour. The 11th hour.